ISMOO going to take the first victory and lead here in our match 1, set 1 of today. Smokes versus ISMOO.
ISMOO is taking that first turn, but it is a little bit awkward where on the side of Smokes you have to control at least 3 units, probably 4. And I don't think, ooh, missing the John Hong skill 2 does not enable you to do any of those just yet. Josephine is moving very nicely in tune in front of the Oliver, but then the big issue is you have a Jianing moving right after, you have an Okeanos moving right after. Even if you hit the Lamila right now, you still have 2 other very strong units moving right after.
Yeah, you can get that pushback, getting the resistance though on the skill, but with that provoke it shouldn't be too harmful. Wow, a big resistances again though.
Oh, big resistances again, and that makes it where Oliver is not going to have any of the skills right now. Do you have to do all damage into the Gianna, hope for an additional turn, maybe take it out? That would have not been enough damage to take it out most likely, but it does do a good amount of damage. However, you can go for... Ooh, I think I would have rather sent the skill 3 over there, proc everything, and then just go for a rotation where you just go for a critical error, because right now, critical error is an 85% chance. It is not full activation rate if you're not removing anything from the field.
I mean, the big resistance is coming out from the Miying unit that usually you wanting to not provide that. 3 versus 4, but I still think Smokes is looking good.
Smokes looks semi-decent, but let's see how much this Rain of Stones can provide, provided all of the stuns out there. But we are 1 turn away from the passes from both the Miying and the Josephine. So if anything takes an additional turn, things might just swing around. But the additional turn goes to the Gianna with another bomb on that Miying.
Yep, right there onto the Miying. You can even send a skill 3 going into the Josephine right there then. Not getting a stun, so not passing any of the passives.
A lot of P's over there with the passives and the proc sets. Anything going on over there. But in this case, we do have this victory going once again to the side of Smoke. Smoke is sitting in a 4-0 victory lap for his matches thus far. And also, very well drafted in this one because he did notice, like, okay, ISMOO can maybe deny the turns of one or two units.
Speed lead then for ISMOO, accuracy lead for Smokes. It's here as set number 2. Smokes versus ISMOO is currently 1-0 up. Monkey, over to you to get that stun.
Monkey for the stun. Can we get the stun? Most likely aiming for that Gianna. Does he go for it? No, actually goes for the Yonhong. Does connect the stun right there.
Yeah, wow, quite squishy as well into that Yonhong right now. Can you look to get a provoke onto that Megumi?
Provoke on the Megumi, or do you gamble for the provoke on the other unit? No, we go for the provoke on the Shiho. Does connect the provoke over there. So then the big question, can we get the stun? We do get the stun, so Layla has free reign of the skills if she so pleases. No armor break, however, which the Chao could have utilized.
Yep, deciding not yet to go for that skill 2 then right now. Chao, Justice, not quite enough, but wow.
Not quite enough, but this is the moment. If you throw the hairpins do connect on the Layla, so therefore Layla will go for skill 1, and skill 1 has a debuff.
Yep, so we're getting a little bit of health coming out right now. You've not got a second turn version though, so you are going to be cleansed anyway. Do you send it or?
I think you have to send it right now, otherwise you get a Gianna skill. Does want to try to deny the Gianna skills, but right now if you bomb the Chao, it's a little bit of a risk, but if you bomb the Chao, you have potentially 4 debuffs on the Chao. Chao might not even get out of this right now, but it's still going to give the turn to the Chao. Is he going to go for the skill 3? It is 85 chance, plus we are not actually looking at we're looking at a glancing, so therefore decides not to take it out just yet.
Yep, killed off then right now. If you this, can you land a defense break? That's big. And Layla is, it feels like the wrong moment to send yet.
Yep, once again, wrong moment to send. We can go for pushbacks. If you land the pushback, does land the pushback, which means Chao will have a chance to hit on an armor break, and Chao very much likes to do that over there. Chao has a Justice available. This should do a lot of damage. 27k, cleanly taking out that Gianna. This Chao is here to stay.
Definitely is. I mean, Josephine's got this passive. It's just the moment. Does he even need to use any of these skills or from the Layla to get rid of this Navarro, or is Chao going to be enough in the end?
I think this is the position where Chao is simply enough. Like, he's just simply gonna do damage. Every other turn, it's a strong hit over there. You do have this hairpin skill right now, and you do get some debuffs from it that way, but just simply skill 1. But this skill 1 actually now provided a 2-turn debuff, but it is a little bit too late. The Nobara doesn't have full effect right now, because that is something that you do want to see early on, and then you can start sniping out units, so Chao has a more difficult 1v4. Now Chao is looking at a 2v1, potentially, while he's even sitting with 2 other units on the field, and that is where Chao gets a lot easier of a match.
Yep, Chao is coming home for you, say, getting that win then for ISMOO, brings it back. Trying to prevent a first turn, getting your monkey off, and we do see the Ciara ban as well there. So speed leads for both ISMOO and Smokes. It's set number 3, currently 1 apiece between Smokes and ISMOO, who can extend that lead.
First turn, we're going for the Shiho, which is always a little bit awkward because you definitely still have to send it for your own protection, but you don't really want to stun anything right now. So if you send it towards the Oliver, you have the least amount of chance of stunning, plus you can put it in the scroll trap.
Yep, trapped away, and now you can look to obviously strip the whole team. Is it a good Jogun? It is, and that's going to set up some stuns right now.
Setting up some stuns right now. However, you do often miss more pushbacks on the Gianna than you miss on the Annabelle, which is maybe a little bit of a misplay because I think a skill 2 on the Gianna would have probably been stronger because Gianna is looking at a lot of skills potential right now.
Which definitely is. You can even just look to cleanse it right now, get that Gianna taking a turn, land a bomb, and then strip stun.
Strip stun, landing the bomb, that's what we're looking for first. Yes, landing the bomb, critical error. Do we get all of those? Not everything, but the most important targets were connected.
They were, and right now, Josephine doesn't have that passive. You can look to stun again, if you so please, and resisted on that Annabelle.
That's also kind of a risky play to do. It is understandable to do, but then again, it is very risky. You don't want to be looking at the slows, you don't want to be looking at the armor breaks, but landing that on the 100 res target of the wrong element is very tricky.
Look at all of those slows. 2-turn, plus that 3-turn defense break. Annabelle is set up for some damage coming in here. How good is that S1 damage?
S1 damage, not super high on the damage, but we also have an Oliver coming back from the trap with full attack bar. However, could not manage to steal the attack bar on the other side.
Yeah, couldn't get the attack bar. That bomb's going to be going off on the Okeanos next. How can you disrupt? Get that stun, but it's not going to be enough.
And Josephine, good 8k damage, also bomb, taking out this Okeanos, and ISMOO is having a very comfortable match using the pre-ban of your opponent, because a Hagen pre-ban is mostly utilized by Gianna owners to get your Gianna in. ISMOO also has a Gianna, and simply use that right there. Very well played.
ISMOO 2-1 up then again. Secure his spot in the competition. Let's find out in this set here.
This is going to be a very interesting play that ISMOO can make with this Yeonhong. There's a lot of options. There's no armor break on this Misty. He could boost up the Assure, give an S3 from the Assure towards that Misty, and just simply kill it, and that is exactly the play that he's thinking about as well.
Yep, he's going to send it. That's skill 3. Can you get a defense break? Doesn't. Wow, that was squishy.
That was super squishy, but it's also almost the moment where you just don't want to go for your skill 3. You want to send your skill 3 maybe on the Gianna. Doesn't want to take that as of yet. He's going to go for probably a stun on the Gianna. You still have to face off against the Layla and a Gianna with the Josephine as backup pair, which is always a little bit dangerous, but already one unit is off the field.
It is. Can you get that stun? You do. And that's going to prevent Gianna, but like you said, it doesn't. Oh, that was huge.
Ooh, that's really huge. No provoke. Buff still remaining. Buff still remaining. Monkey can have a chance to go for the all or nothing. Can we connect them all, or do we connect them nothing? We actually connect a little bit of half.
Yep, you connect the one that you kind of needed there as well. And you are now getting some silences coming out.
Yes, 2-turn silence. You cannot proc out of a 2-turn silence, as our friend Sean B likes to call. Right there, and therefore the Gianna will have a very awkward turn.
Yep, she will right here. You can take that turn. But wow, ISMOO so clean here, sir.
Yeah, very well played. Also utilizing that one unit of will with the Yeonhong. Yeonhong is always really a playmaker kind of unit. You just lock in a unit to move all the way first. You have to follow with so much damage coming in. Once again, we're going to go for that Desert Predator, locking in a lot of damage. Armor break coming a little bit later, but we're going to take it out in just a few rounds.
Yeah, we are, because you can now even send that skill 2. Yes, the skill 3 going from this Shiho. ISMOO is going to be making it through to the Europe Cup for what maybe seems like the fifth time in a row.
I think he's kind of on those numbers already. Yeah, he's been there for a lot of years, but this year he is definitely once again there.
ISMOO